much, this is going to be happening after everyone is returned. It will take you a bit in order to return back. Well, actually, no. Grimoire dropped you right at the gates of Mondstadt. You would arrive before even the people of Mondstadt that were in the Colosseum return.
So
Basically,
Albedo's still hanging out at the encampment.
Yes, most likely.
Just a band.
Everyone has been basically taken to get healed. Everyone's got a chance to be able to go to the Coliseum. You've been there for maybe an hour or two, and this meeting will start right when, like, for instance, the people of the Coliseum are starting to come in. And so you know, she does not know what Max and you guys know. She only knows the fact of simple things that she saw and messengers have been telling her. So she has not been filled in too much. Alrighty? So you got your concepts? As Ender dies.
Yes.
Yes. Don't die yet. You have to do your character arc.
Darn.
Okay.
I know! Garrett's not allowed to die. Too many people are attached to him now. Okay. No! You're not allowed to die!
She's not wrong.
You already died! Twice!
Tell your friend I said hi.
My friend says hi! They say hi back! Okay,
Beautiful.
alrighty, let's go.
Is this what it looked
So-
like when I was yelling at my mom from down the hall?
Yes.
Alrighty, so, pretty much everyone of the group, you've had an opportunity to be able to kind of get caught up, get refreshed, and it's been 2 hours since you returned back, with Grimoire.
Gotcha.
If you want to say that you were talking to me or otherwise, but come in as you wish or however you feel, I will be Jean. She is expecting you to come in. You would have gotten from people basically saying, Jean is expecting you in their office.
What about...
Why did you give me a golf ball?
I will destroy your friends, Sake. Tell them I will destroy them.
Mouse is threatening you.
Tell them I'm willing to sell them health insurance.
They're gonna throw golf balls at you! Alrighty, I'm gonna
I want to see them try!
But why?
Huh?
Anyway, what were you trying to say, Zips?
What about V? You had mentioned at the very end of the last session that she would have collapsed halfway through the trip back?
Did I?
You did.
That is up to you. I meant as in the fact that she would have collapsed, as in, like, she would have turned back to normal. But if you
she
want to
would've
run with it,
collapsed
run with
either
it.
way, yeah.
Okay.
So somebody's gonna have to pick her up, and mind you, she was holding Marcus, so...
Oh yeah, I also had D-Luke slung over my shoulder.
Yeah, so I think
Yeah.
3 collaterals were brought to the cathedral before they came here.
Yeah, so
That's why it took us 2
Am I
hours.
standing on my toes?
Frozen.
You always think.
Yes.
I almost became a collateral.
Especially Max.
Almost.
Max would also beeline straight for you to report on what happened and to talk about, the state of things in Mondstadt and the state of, people and stuff like that, damages and whatnot.
Gotcha.
Since he is also, part of the defenders of Mondstadt.
Can we just marvel at the fact that
Am I
Grace
smaller
got
than
out of that
Bennett?
unscathed?
Yes.
I'm smaller than Bennett!
I was gonna say. Yeah, I
You're the
didn't
same
really
height, but
take any damage
you're also
at
kind of like crouching
the
slightly.
entire
Your
time,
knees are
huh?
like knocking together.
Yeah.
I don't.
Like
I'm,
I
I'm
got
having
hit
issues
maybe
with
by
my,
like
I'm
one
sitting
bully
down.
troll and almost got shot by Marcus. But
Okay, let's
otherwise,
start
So then
not
you'll
Marcus,
be in
by,
my office. You'll be in my
Max.
office. We probably
I
will be
was about
talking
to say,
about a
what?
few things.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone out, unless you have been talking to me for the past like hour.
Blah 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 blah.
Falutinarb.
And then Andrew threw me off to his mouth and he's just We were just rushing ahead, and then everything was just screaming.
Just shake. Wake up, Bennett! Wake up! You just got attacked and you have blood loss. No, I'm kidding. Alrighty, get out. Unless you were supposed to be here.
No, I kind of want to be here
Hits
already
wall.
because Marcus is gonna be
Hits wall.
knockout. So
Hits wall.
I'm actually just
Okay.
doing that. Was just doing. Just reporting that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you would have reported whenever you got back because and Andreas would have dropped you off.
Yes. And then I'm gonna leave because Marcus is out cold. So.
Depending on how bad.
Okay, it's up to you.
How many injuries he sustained.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't be here, but I am.
Well, I mean, I guess that's something that both Garrett and Jihan have in common.
So this recording is going
Too
fine.
stubborn.
Okay, now get out.
Do I have that?
You're fine. I'll mute.
You know what? Even though Jihan's not supposed to be here, I'm gonna swap.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start.
We're running out of time. Triggs, get out. Oh wait, no, you're gonna be here. Okay. Alrighty, everyone, hold your horses. I'm gonna start in about.
But there are no horses in Mondstadt.
That's why we have a calorie captain.
Yeah. What? That's
Alrighty.
true. There's no.
So I'm gonna be in here, count
Well,
to
how
10
can
at
you
least,
calorie
and
count
go ahead and get in character.
Without horses.
No, I'm starting now.
We're also going to have to talk about the state of Mondstadt outside of the city. The lector may have been defeated, but the fact remains that there are still stragglers outside the city walls as we speak. So I'm willing to impart with you a number of my...
Andrew said he will take care of.
Excuse me. You want to talk to me?
Come on in. Come, please. Take a seat if you want to. Let me just finish up with Max as well as with Bennett.
Okay.
As I was saying, there still remains the problem of stragglers who are running around causing merry havoc in the countryside. I am willing to impart with you a number of my men to help mop up the remaining villagers. The sooner that they are out of Mondstadt's problems, the sooner your city will be able to rise up faster.
It has returned back to the normal situation of hilly trolls before we actually had the issue. So do be careful, and I am not asking for extra help, especially if you're going to ask for those costs you mentioned before.
Well, we shall see. The men that I still have are still sufficient enough to do whatever needs to be. But we are going to have to be replenishing those numbers since my contract still is, I'm still here for a while. As soon as that's finished, I'm leaving Mondstadt.
Understandable, but to be fair, we're still building, so we don't really need to deal with that right now. We'll have to talk about it another time.
RP action.
Of
The door
course.
flies open hard enough that it bangs off the wall.
Ugh.
Ah,
Jeez.
welcome, Master
So-
Diluc.
He walks in. An RP action. He grabs you by the neck and slams you on the ground.
Ooh.
Did it gonna be so?
This is the treatment I get for helping save your life, Master Diluc.
No.
Like
I
you
don't
didn't
think
have your
so.
own agenda. Mondstadt isn't yours to conquer. Speaking Conrian, you think I can't recognize someone with... You are a threat to Mondstadt, and you have been from the get-go.
Oh,
Master Diluc, you're
appropriate
bleeding.
action. Max, Max sits up.
I'm fine. It's just
Max
I didn't
stands
wash
up.
off yet.
Just because I have certain interests doesn't mean that I'm working for the enemy. I am not with him. Everything I have done for the benefit of Mondstadt. I have lost men that I have served with for more than decades so that I can
RP
defend
action. He
this
pushes you when
city.
you get too close. He pushes you by the chest when you get too close. Like, back off.
I have
Look, you don't
gave-
think I can't recognize what you're doing. The Fatui's doing the exact same thing. Come in, help with the crisis, and then start acting like we owe you something? You think I'm stupid? You think we're stupid?
Oh, Master Diluc. You're seeing shadows where there aren't any.
It's kept us
Now
alive
you
so
look
far.
me- Oh, you look me in the eye and tell me. Are the sacrifices that my men have made, men with families, children of their own, the actions of someone who wishes to do harm to Mondstadt? Every single one of them I remember inside my mind. They have children that they are not going to see again just to defend Mondstadt.
I
Do
suppose
not
the blood
accuse
is
me
on
of
your
being an
hands
enemy.
then. I suppose the blood's on your hand then. I'm not saying they didn't ask with sincerity.
I will say, your men are being paid to do what they do. I am sad that what has happened, and I don't want anyone's lives to be lost. But don't blame the deaths of your men on my country.
No, I am not blaming the deaths on your country or Mondstadt, acting Grandmaster. It's just that someone here thinks that I'm working with the enemy simply because of my interests.
Why did you yell at him in Conrian then? What in the world what did you do?
And do explain the phrase, Mondstadt isn't yours to conquer. I'd love to hear your excuse on that one.
I don't have to explain myself to you, Master Diluc.
I think you do.
You do.
No.
You need to explain
Well.
more in depth of why are you doing what you're doing.
Alright then, since you asked. Mondstadt isn't just theirs to conquer. Is there something suspicious about that?
Yes.
I mean, the phrasing of it is very odd indeed, I will be honest.
I don't care what you have to think about me, but everything I have done to protect Mondstadt. There's nothing else more to it.
Stop acting like you're high and mighty.
mean-
You are being paid. You are mercenaries. Stop acting like you did this out of the goodness of your heart and without any kind of ulterior motive.
Yes, I do have an ulterior motive. I have a motive to get paid by your Grandmaster, and he has paid me a contract to do so as I wish, and I will finish that contract however I can. I have a reputation to maintain after all, and after that I am going to be out of your sight, Master Diluc.
Well, you're going to get out of my sight now because you are not welcome in any tavern in this city. Neither are your men, because I do not trust you. I do not trust anyone under you. You do not have the city's best interests at heart, and you will never convince me otherwise. And the only reason I'm not beating you right now is because Jean is here and will probably stop me.
While I would have enjoyed fighting you, that's not being under my contract. And besides, there are many different taverns here that require coin, and you already more than enough.
You do know the fact that our acting Grandmaster did not tell you you could do whatever you wanted. They said to help us in our time of need, when they were leaving us behind. Yet you keep saying the fact that you could do whatever you want. You're still under me. And if that's not in the contract, we need to look over it.
Yeah,
Then
but
I
that doesn't make complete sense.
apologize.
Something
Then I
far-
deeply apologize for my phrasing, acting Grandmaster. I forgot myself. The Langsnets are always at your command.
Jean, I don't
David.
trust him, and neither should you.
I understand. From what you've mentioned a few times, I have to wonder. Max, your men are going to have done a service, and we are grateful for your help. But you've been acting more and more suspicious lately.
Acting Grandmaster, you tell me, have the Langsteds ever did something that was contrary to Mondstadt's interests? Have we burnt down your food supplies? Have we stolen your secrets at your most vulnerable moment? We were
A
here to
normal
help defend your
person wouldn't do
walls.
that if they were visiting a country.
And we haven't done that, nor do we plan to.
The men may be under
What?
you, but you're the one in charge, and you're the one making the calls. Your men could not be in on this at all. At the end of the day, you were the one giving them instructions, and you were the one just... I don't trust you, and by extension, I don't trust your men because they do what you tell them. And money keeps a lot of mouths shut. You were a threat to the city, and if you don't leave on your own, I will make you.
David, we can't tell
That
him
will be over.
leave. You have full right to be able to say that he cannot go into the areas that you own, but I cannot tell him that he has to leave Mondstadt itself.
It's fine, it'll be easy enough to drive him out.
What are
Oh,
you
I'd like to
talking about?
see you try.
Master Jean, Acting Grandmaster, with all due respect, I have a lot more clout than you give me credit for.
Luke.
Oh, what's this that I hear? Subverting the authority of the acting Grandmaster and the Knights of Favonius. How
I'm not
brazen!
subverting anything. I'm just putting some words in the ears of those that I consider them to be truthful. What's a few good faith warnings, and how the people choose to respond is on them.
Master D-Luke, Max, I understand tension. Right now, the situation is a bit tense, but we just got over an invasion. If you two want to exchange words over a slightly more situation, could we please save it for another time?
No, because right now, Mondstadt is in a position that we can be taken advantage of, and I will not let that happen.
And I do not plan to take advantage of Mondstadt.
Of course you wouldn't admit
Master
to it,
Dean?
that'd be dumb.
You are extremely paranoid.
I do have to admit that the Fatui have been helping just as much as you have been. They did not
The
leave
Fatui-
when the situation. We cannot do anything about the Fatui.
I was just saying that they're behaving the exact same way he is, and we know what they want. They've been putting political pressure on us since they took care of Ursa the Drake.
Yes.
What's to say he can't be trying to do the same?
Even after everything I've done, you really want to make an enemy out of me, do you?
I have plenty of
Max.
enemies, you're just another on the list.
Just gives you a look.
This
I'm
argument is
thankful
getting us
again.
nowhere.
I will say I'm thankful for what your men have done. But we will have to put you on parole because of these suspicions.
Replay action. Max is like glares down at Jean for a second, but then relents. If it is the wish of the acting Grandmaster, the Langsteds will obey.
I'm not talking about your men. I mean you.
Very well then, acting Grandmaster. If it means for the security of for the love of God.
Drift go burr.
If it means the security of my... This is ridiculous.
No,
If
open the
this
legacy
means-
menu. Like the little pop out where like avatars and settings are, you don't have to go into Buddha mode. Like, open your hand menu and then hit the pop out on the top right corner. It'll keep you from moving.
Hmm.
There you go.
Anyway, take two.
That's a directional bird.
If it means the security of Mondstadt, if it helps put your hearts at ease, then I am yours to command, Acting Grandmaster.
Thank you. We will still need to be able to talk with a few other things. But at this time, the company is not welcome.
As you wish. I do want to discuss with you about a few things, but that would have to wait another time.
You are welcome to stay for this meeting because you did take part of it. Luke?
I'll be civil.
At least until you walk out this door.
Very well.
Now that's settled. I need to be able to find out what exactly happened with the Lecter.
Well, the most
Laureen, I
important
can
thing
see
is
you.
it's dead.
Come in.
I wasn't trying to hide, dear. I was simply intrigued in the conversation.
RP action, the door was left wide open, so.
No, you're fine.
Like, there's a hole in
I
that
mean, he
wall.
did-
Remember, there are people going in and out, and that still has refugees in there. So,
Oh, yeah, no, that exchange was probably witnessed, and D. Luke was kind of banking on that.
all right.
Oh God.
Back in character, though. I'm just saying that you're welcome to come inside. Especially since I mentioned you are allowed to be here. You did help. I would like to know more about what happened, as well as are we sure that this Lecter and his company
are not going to be attacking Mondstadt again.
Admittedly,
Well,
I was
as the
unconscious for the latter part of that fight, but as far as I know, the Lecter is dead.
Most certainly, our little wolf boy decided to take it upon himself to slew that Lecter the very last second. He's nothing but a bunch of fizzled ash now.
Mm.
Abyssal
Sorry,
ash.
that was an
Not surprised.
IRL noise.
Fizzle.
I whacked my cord and ripped it off my head. Ow!
Oops.
Sorry.
Fizzled ash, so.
I see.
And as for his forces, well, we haven't run into them since.
I can reply to that. That's what I've been trying to say from the first time I got here, but, right.
You're fine, Bennett.
Sorry, it's just a little bit nervous after everything that went through. Anyway, after Andreas dropped me over here, he reported that the Mirror Trolls and Hell Trolls that have been coming down have already bitten in retreat. Most of them are still around, but they are most likely without any orders. So they are just acting erratically, like, you know, the kind of creatures they are. And we already know the Valen and the other thing, I still don't know what that is, have helped immensely. So as of right now, we just have increased helitrol activity, but it doesn't seem like any of them are organized.
Alright.
Okay, that's good.
That follows with a lot of the information that I already know. From what
Yeah, the Abyss Order is generally what organizes them.
It seems like the Abyssal Mages have pretty much disappeared in the area. But the Helitrolls have returned back to rather normal order. A little chaotic, though, and as well as their own places were destroyed, so they've been displaced. But at this time, it looks like things are starting to find balance. Gian, you were there when actually you
were leading the attack. I've heard the fact that, well, is it true that Barbados helped you? With Devon?
It was it was the darndest thing, and it was a sight for sore eyes. No pun intended. Things were getting a bit. The ambush was turning everything as according to plan. Until there were suddenly their numbers suddenly had increased. Things were looking a bit hairy when, sure enough, yes, Barbados, riding on the back of Devon, came soaring by the Thousand Winds temples and just ravaged the entirety of the enemy's forces.
Wonder where he'd been.
The men I sent with you, how did they die?
Your crossbowmen were as sharp as you had promised, and your pikemen were very helpful.
I'm talking about those that
Unfortunately,
died.
it looked like the hilly trolls at the command of the Abyss did pick up on how more threatening Max's men were, and a fair number of them did get picked off. But as far as I know, only 5 of your crossbowmen had perished because of the position I had put them in, and maybe 10 or 15 of your pikemen.
They died well.
Otherwise,
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. But they definitely held their weight. Definitely held their weight in the combat.
Understandable. And on the question about Dvalin, we had been watching with actually help with telescopes. It's a very interesting thing. We were able to follow and see the fact that the barrier around Dvalin's area completely shattered right before all of the wind came and followed. Immediately, at the same time that the wind barrier fell, that's when Dvalin flew out of the area. We don't exactly know because we weren't able to see Barbados themselves. We could just tell the fact that he was with him. It's possible that either he was being held there, or we have a feeling that Barbados was protecting him this whole time.
I was about to suggest the same. Because last time those winds showed up...
Most likely. Because of what we've figured out, Andreas fell. Most likely, it was because Andreas falling that Barbados went to save his old friend. To make sure that, well, he didn't get captured.
suffer the same fate.
Especially because you remember what happened last time, when Dvalin lost his control. If you imagine what a Dvalin would have done as an animal, I would imagine it might have been even worse than when he was visiting before.
He went forward to save his friend.
I only had heard. I wasn't here when the whole Dvalin thing was going on and the Traveler was here, but I did definitely catch word of it when I was on my way back here. So I can only imagine how devastating it would have been if the same fate fell on Dvalin as it did Andreas, considering how much trouble Andreas himself both gave us.
Yes. Because when Andreas lost his control, well, we couldn't see, but Dvalin would have completely destroyed that situation. Fog and a hurricane would have been absolutely devastating.
We'll just have to be fortunate that Barbados had thought ahead like that.
I'm not sure. All I know is that I'm thankful for what he did. If it wasn't for him, it was starting to look rather uncomfortable. All of the forces that were at Mondstadt actually turned away from Mondstadt and targeted the area of where the group was. we had no idea how it would be able to even know where they were because of the fog protecting the group, but
It was probably
Either
quite a
way.
bit of elemental energy. It was probably a beacon to those who could see it.
Hmm.
possibility, but either way, at this time, it has worked out. I do want to thank all of you for what you have done, as well as what you have done for Mondstadt itself. Everything is starting to look like it's patching up. The paths for outside back into the villages seem like they are clearing up, as well as a strange thing has happened.
Hmm?
The Falcon of the East has disappeared.
Hmm.
We saw it
Well, I guess it
leaving
kept
and
word.
flying to the west, towards Liyue.
Huh.
This is curious.
Mm.
I would imagine that that would be completely the opposite of what he would normally go to. So, I don't know. All I can say is I'm thankful that you were able to talk to it and at least convince it to help us at a time of need. But at this time, I guess it's no longer needed.
Hmm.
At least it's vacated
Mondstadt's-
Dragonspine. Hopefully the flooding will ease
Yeah.
up.
Yes,
Right.
Mondstadt's mountains are starting to actually, well, get cold again. Which
Yeah, I'm not gonna have to
Can
worry
be a
about
good
irrigation
thing.
for a while.
it could be a good thing or a bad thing, if you think about it. But a lot of the Adventurers Guild are curious to be able to check out Dragonspine at this moment in time because of the lack of storms. So it'll be rather interesting if you are curious to look around.
After my last trip on Dragonspine, I think I might pass on that.
Yeah,
Understand.
I've already had a trouble
Cyrus.
with that amount of times.
Yeah, I've already heard Cyrus firing off ideas about considering the weather conditions up at Dragonspine. He's thinking about using it for the mountain temporarily to train new recruits who are interested in becoming adventurers.
As much as I'm sure he's excited, I don't think it's going to be an option. If we know Dragonspine, it should freeze over very quickly. We maybe have a week or two, but I'm hoping that it freezes over quickly. We can talk to Albedo about it and see if what he thinks, but either way, I'm looking forward to normal situation of what was before situation. Either way,
Speaking of,
all I
where
can
is Albedo? Last we saw, he was at the encampment.
Most likely at the encampment. My guess is the fact that he's
Oh.
staying there just getting
I gotta be
well,
AFK for a while.
everything
Oh, dear.
okay.
Don't
Um,
tell
We
me.
have
I'm
sent a
guessing
message-
most
Most likely
missed.
what?
What?
We had sent a message to get him back here. Not like he needs to
Did,
stay
did
there.
we not pass the encampment on our way back?
No?
I thought you all were teleported
Oh,
here
I forgot
by
to mention. Yes.
or somebody.
You know what? I don't even know how to really explain it. Something helped us get back here. There's a small
Something?
child. Rip
Uh,
opened
a
a
child?
portal. Name of Grimoire. I have no idea. I've never met her before.
Wait, Grimoire?
Yes.
You know her?
Lisa told me about her.
Yeah, I would remember when you sent us to that domain. And everyone that went there talked about how there was like how when we went in we found like this weird library-like place.
Yes, I remember you
Grim-
talking about it, and you appeared in the cathedral suddenly.
No, I'd heard about that.
She's
I
the
was there.
reason why we appeared. She's the reason why we found the library, and then ended up back at the cathedral. She was like.
Real quick,
She was
hold
a
on.
small girl.
Do you have any background processes going? You're roboting quite a bit, and I don't know if it's your bandwidth or if it's your computer CPU dying.
It's the stupid connection. It always tends to do this.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is. I'm sorry.
Okay,
you're-
it's fine.
you're
I
good,
didn't
Trip.
know if
We
it was
can-
something
we
you
can
could
understand
address.
you.
All right.
I mean, I'm doing my best, but brain go burr.
Right. No, I understand. Yeah. But like, I mean, granted, when we met her, Chicory even knew her. I guess Chicory had a previous encounter with her too. Like, she was like about Chicory's height. And she was
child.
hanging
Feeling
out.
awfully
She was
out of the
also
loop
hanging
on
out
this
with
one.
For some
I gave
reason,
her
she
my
was
business
also.
card.
Of course you did.
For some reason, it's also when we met her, she was hanging out with Abyss mages, but the Abyss mages were completely neutral towards us.
Okay.
I didn't
You know,
understand
that starts
that.
to make a bit more sense.
He was hanging out with the Abyssal Mage. They were
Okay.
hanging out with the Abyssal Mages.
Okay.
Well, that makes a bit more sense now.
Okay, so what you're saying is you didn't walk back, you were helped, so I'm assuming we were teleported?
Yes, precisely.
So what I'm
Yes, while
hearing
you were
is those we
unconscious
left
on
at
my
the encampment
shoulders.
are still at the
Are still
encampment
there.
with no idea. And they
Yep.
have no idea we're here.
Yep.
I'll send.
This sounds a
the
job
animals
for
now
the
I'll
back
send
Bennett
a man.
Adventure
completely
Team.
to normal.
Okay, go
Max.
Send a man
Adventure
out to
Team.
get
No.
him.
Max.
Please,
So-
so many. Bennett, if you wish, you can.
How's that? I'll be right back
Just
in.
be careful.
Careful is
Just
my
please
middle.
be
Right.
careful.
Careful is my middle name, Master D. Look, come on. Okay, I know what I said, but you know, I'll be back before you know it.
Be
Bennett
safe.
away!
Oh, Barbados, protect him.
Good thing we didn't give him an actual letter. I'd be afraid it would be destroyed before he got there.
That's
my
why I
gosh.
said he could. He'd be
He has a very good memory, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Either way, at this moment in time, I will congratulate all of you for surviving and taking care of yourself. Though I would have suggested you'd been more stronger taking care of yourself.
I
Said D.
assure you
Luke,
this-
covered in
Yeah,
blood.
Yeah, so
Co-
his wounds are
washed away,
gone,
but-
but he hasn't washed. No, the wounds are gone. He has not washed yet because he basically got healed when time to come here. Then he saw
I
Max,
mean-
and it was hammer time. So yeah, no, he still
I mean,
looks
to
like an
be-
absolute fright.
Well,
Oh yeah,
I
no,
mean-
he like
Um,
the wounds are healed, but like, yeah,
I mean, if
Like,
D-Luke wants to
there's
squirrel
probably
outside,
scars.
Max is down.
Alrighty.
but yeah, no, he is a
Alright.
fright. So when she makes that comment, he's like, I assure you, this was
I
not
will
on my
say,
plan.
When you ran out of character, when you ran in, she looked at you in horror. Both because you attacked not Max, but also you looked like you were the dead rising. So back to roleplay.
Oh, drama. Very on brand for D. Luke.
I
Either
mean,
way.
to be. Sorry, go on.
It's accomplished. This feat was an accomplishment that no other could actually do. It was the accomplishments of being able to go into the domains, getting the information, and working together that has brought you all together. Though
Max,
you
kindly
might
put
not
your
be
bow
c-
away.
Oh, for the love of Christ. Ah!
Out of character, I presume
Oh,
that was
for the
for
love of Christ! For the love of Christ!
Could you stop
Just ignore it.
swearing?
Just
Okay,
just
I'll ignore it. Okay.
Ignore that. We need to finish this.
The love of Barbados, can you put your bow away?
Okay. Sorry.
I was on a speech.
I'm sorry. You tell us what we see is what we get, and I was in character.
No, you're fine.
Alright, all I can say is the fact that I appreciate what you've done, and it was the fact that you worked together. You are no longer considered the Pink Party, but the adventures that actually helped Mondstadt. I don't know where you will go from here on now, but I definitely hope the winds will follow you, wherever you go.
I thank you, and I hope that nickname never shows up again. Oh,
Well, don't turn
I thought
yourself
it was
pink
rather
by
charming.
accident. I'm sure you'll be
I
fine.
think it's cute.
The
of
pink
course you
secrets
think it's
and-
cute.
Though Sucrose, Kaya, and also Lisa are still stuck with
Lisa,
that
oh
situation.
yeah, they're still pink.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
What's wrong
getting
with pink?
so much joy out of Kaya.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with pink?
Kaya's still pink too.
It is a
I
fine
forgot.
color.
He absolutely is.
You're not wrong when you're like
Not
that
gonna
for at
lie,
least a
after the
month.
battle,
It's
some people were
over.
trying to call him the Neapolitan Knights.
Have they tried detergent?
All I can say
Fantastic.
is,
Yeah.
I'm glad. You're free to stay in Mondstadt however you please. We will be rebuilding as quickly as possible, as well as make sure that we are ready to do whatever we can. Please realize the fact that it will take time for us to be able to be back to normal. And we would be grateful for your help. Considering the fact that everyone here is equal to one of the knights, I would honestly say the fact that you've all earned yourself a title.
I don't
Savior of
need that.
Mondstadt. I know you do, but you're going to get it anyway.
She just kind of looks at him, just like, you can't stop me.
Either way, all I can say is thank you for coming. And we will be rewarding you in due time. But until we even have something to give, all we can do is give you a title.
Okay then. Well, thank you.
A title from the
As-
knight.
King.
As well as, technically, when you're in Mondstadt, you, well, party like Mondstadt. I apologize because you were out, but it kind of got out of hand. As soon as everyone came back, well, they started shouting how the fact that they want free drinks at Eluk's Tavern.
Oh, I think that's deserved. Don't worry,
Well,
D-Luke.
I
I'll
mean-
pay my tab.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Kaya when I did the meeting of the ambush plans, did predict ahead of time that was something that was gonna happen. So
Honestly, knowing him, he's the one who started it. No, it's
Wow.
fine. I can afford
Probably.
one open bar.
Well, my men went ahead and helped themselves to Diluc's tavern, but since Master Diluc doesn't want my money, I suppose that they will have to remain unpaid.
I mean, they could always go to the Black Cat.
Oh, the Black Cat is infinitely better, much more deserving of its reputation.
All I can say is thank you. The cat's
Oh, cat's turn,
Go
sorry.
ahead and enjoy yourselves. I'm going to have to stay here in organizing the new settlements that we're going to be doing. Please,
Yes, I just want to
rest
talk to
and
you about that.
reflex.
Hmm?
Alrighty, fine.
A glass of wine?
Oh,
It does sound.
my men are...
Oh.
they're soldiers. They need something to do. And since they're pretty much talented carpenters on their own, since
Give
we
this to
do
Charles.
much around constructing things, I
It's just
will give
instructions.
most of them constructing duty to help build up
Hmm.
houses and whatnot. We'll also be opening our own private stashes to help alleviate anyone who's hungry. Lifestats is opening
Understandable.
itself up for the city.
Good. I'm grateful for it.
Hmm.
Either way,
I might also be able to contact a few of our masonry friends from Font. They're experts in this sort of thing, and they can help with the repairs.
Now that the stone gate is open again, I'll send some word to Lewa and order supplies for the city until we can get our own crops back up.
Mondstadt, the city of freedom, is free once more. Anyone may return and leave as they please, and I will be sending that message out. On Animal. Hopefully, the pigeons aren't going to be shot down out of fear.
And hopefully my falcon is going to try and rip my face off this time.
Hopefully. Alright.
Oh dear.
Everyone, celebrate. Please.
Well, who's up party for a drink? My treat.
Yeah.
All right.
You
See
know
you
what? I'll
then.
take you up
Okay.
on your offer.
All right, real quick. So the instruction letter that